5 big questions I'm asking on this big story that NDTV, like I said, has completely been leading with. Number 1, will the Gandhis, the so-called High Command, will the Gandhis give Karnataka Chief Minister chair to DK Shivakumar? Clear question, number 1. Number 2, can Sonia Gandhi go back on her alleged promise to DK Shivakumar after the 2023 election victory that there would be a rotational formula where he could also become Chief Minister after 2.5 years? That mark has passed, by the way. Number 3, was there any secret pact between the Congress High Command and DK Shivakumar as is being alleged by the BJP? Number 4, is the High Command unable to impose discipline and its writ? And that's the reason why it's completely silent, because it has no idea what to do. And number 5, can the High Command afford to postpone a decision once again? If it kicks the can down the road, what could actually happen? To discuss this right now, joining me live, Tehseen Poonawalla, political analyst, supports the Congress, has an inside view on how the grand old party functions and works. Asad Abbas is a political analyst, joins us live from Bengaluru. He says he supports the DK camp in this particular feud. Swati Chaturvedi, author, columnist, best-selling writer, who's written a terrific column just yesterday on this entire feud that's broken out and the crisis it brings to the Congress. And Surabhi Hodigere, spokesperson of the BJP in Karnataka. Welcome to all of you. Swati, I'm going to kick it off with you because I just read your column. As always, you've spared none. You've put out all the details there. You've described this as the next big crisis for the Congress party. How are you reading the situation? Because between the time your column was written yesterday and this show that's going live right now, so much has happened. All the big stakeholders have spoken and they've all uniformly basically said one thing, which is the High Command has to end the confusion.
Well, Shiv, thank you so much for having me and thank you for, praising the column. The thing is that what you started saying, by command. Now, where is the High Command in the Congress is a question that is completely lost these days, because if you remember, first of all, there was a pact. I can confirm that DKS was promised that he would get a chance to become CM. He's 63 years old. If not now, then when is the question facing him? He has a right. He even went to jail for this party. He's a Congress loyalist. He's a Gandhi family loyalist. Now, the problem is that every time a situation like this is arisen, where Sachin Pilot, who's also 48 years old and who doesn't see a huge future for himself in the Congress party at the moment because Gehlot refused to make way for him. Here you have a situation where an 80-year-old leader is saying that, we did have a pact, but, I'm not going to allow that to be implemented because he senses blood. Siddaramaiah sees that the Gandhi family and the notional Congress president is too weak to take a call and say that, let us please implement the pact that you both made. So when this happens, eventually what happens is the Congress loses power, which it did in Punjab with the Amrinder Singh scenario, which it did in Rajasthan, and now, this is going to play out in Karnataka as well, because I do not think that this time DKS is going to back down.
Okay. Tehseen, are you getting the same sense that DK is sniffing his moment? He's not going to back down. He's saying some cursory things for the cameras, but his camp is saying all kinds of things to journalists. What is your sense? Is the High Command in a position to take a decision, Tehseen?
Shiv, first of all, thank you so much for having me on the show. Good evening to all my fellow panelists, to all your viewers. A very happy Constitution Day, and through your channel, we pay our tributes to the martyrs of 2611. There are 2 issues out here. Swati is absolutely right. DK is a Congress loyalist. He's a born and brought up congressman. He has never left the party. He went to jail for the Congress party. His leader is Sonia Gandhi. Swati had broken the story that Sonia ji had gone to Tihar and met him. So it is the fact. And I know DK very well. DK would take a bullet for the Congress. But Shiv, at some point, we got to ask ourselves difficult questions. And I am a Congress supporter, a Congress voter. I've never been voted for an alliance partner of the Congress. I've only voted Congress. At some point, we cannot allow Madhya Pradesh to repeat, Rajasthan to repeat, Chhattisgarh to repeat, Haryana to repeat. Haryana, please remember, after everything that we did so well in the Lok Sabha elections, we ignored the tallest Dalit leader in Haryana. And what happened after that? DK is a man who is an organizational man, who was, after he came out of jail, was the president of the PCC Karnataka, and he got the Congress to power in Karnataka. If there is any state that the Congress has a chance of repeating after 2011, I'm not saying winning, repeating, it is Karnataka, because the BJP is in such a disarray in Karnataka. So here is somebody that you need to do justice. Now, I agree Siddaramaiah ji is the tallest mass leader. I also agree he comes from the OBC category. And that is the difficult part for the High Command to see.
No, but will they take a decision? By December 1st, will they take a decision, Tehseen?
And that's the important point, Shiv. At your show, at some point, you have to take a decision. You have to take a decision. What Narasimha Rao ji used to say, not taking a decision is also a decision, does not apply in 2025 anymore. So you got to bite the bullet. And I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm saying this, I'm putting my money on my mouth. Not a single Congress MLA, whatever way the decision is taken, will leave the Congress party, because no Congress MLA wants an election in 2.5 years. Not a single Congress party. It's common sense.
No, but before I go to the politicians, Swati, can the Congress afford to postpone a decision once again this time?
You know, Shiv, they're sort of out of. You started talking about the fact that they've run out of road. It's like, remember when we were little kids, used to watch the Bugs Bunny and the Road Runner. You literally run out of road. The Congress High Command here has literally, come to the end of the road, because if they don't take a call, this time around, there is no way that DKS is going to back down. And the other thing is that his camp is saying that, look, Siddaramaiah is not a congressman. He's a one-man army who came to the Congress party, and he has ensured that he's rewarded his loyalists. So DKS, the point he's making right now is that if you're a congressman, if you're a dyed in the wool, dyed in the blood congressman, do you get a reward from Rahul Gandhi or not? Why does Rahul Gandhi tend to favor those who are from outside the Congress party? And that's a big question currently in the Congress as well.
You want to quickly add to that? Then I'll go to the others, Tehseen.
Tomorrow when the BJP starts Operation Lotus in Himachal, and believe you me, they will try and do it, where are those MLAs going to come? They're going to come to Karnataka, and you're going to have DKs to help them. Nobody else.
He's the biggest crisis manager they have.
I just want to add one little point to that before I go to Surabhi and Syed, which is that Karnataka is a state that is notorious for having a kind of unprecedented political osmosis between the BJP and the Congress. We've seen, instability being a defining feature of every government in Karnataka. But I don't want to get into the Operation Kamala aspect. Right now, we're talking about whether a decision is going to be taken or not. Surabhi, I don't want to get into the governance aspect of it. That we've covered, about whether governance is suffering in the absence of a decision. As a BJP member in Karnataka, I want your political view on what the confusion is. What is it doing to the Congress? How does the BJP see this deadline that the High Command has to take a decision by the 1st of December?
That's very unfair, Shiv, because as a member of the opposition, it's my absolute responsibility.
No, you can say something. You can make some points.
No, absolutely. I mean, I'm not a political analyst, and I don't think the BJP is attempting to be a political analyst at this point in time. Fair enough. To us, it's not material as to, we're not taking selecting camps, or we're not deciding what needs to be done or not. But here's something that we've been saying clearly and loud for 2.5 years, which is that the Congress government in Karnataka has been more, about managing factions and less about governance. This has been very painful for us, because today, 10 days, farmers in Gadag have been sitting in protest for maize-related compensation. They've been sitting in protest in Belagavi also for compensation because of flood-affected North Karnataka regions. These are real concerns that have been happening across Karnataka, while the Congress is so busy with this infighting. 2.5 years, this has been the defining feature of this government. Period. No, please don't, it baffles me that there are two Congress supporters sitting on the panel today, and one is openly saying that they're DKS supporting. If the panel can be broken into factions, imagine how government should be running.
I'll be very honest with you, Surabhi, and Swati will bear me out on this. There are factions even in the media. There are pro-DK and pro-Siddaramaiah factions. I kid you not. And let me be very honest with you. I take it as a badge of honor that I am getting leaks from both sides. Syed, I am getting leaks from both sides. The fact that governance is suffering is a legitimate point, and Surabhi has every right to make that point. We had a debate, in fact, yesterday where we talked about that threadbare. But the Siddaramaiah government being in a powerful position in government because of its numbers is able to announce a lot of schemes, and that's not really a big deal. Plus, elections are not really close in Karnataka, so there's no threat of any election looming in Karnataka. But you support DK Shivakumar, Syed. You openly say it as well. Are you also sensing that this is DK Shivakumar's moment?
I will answer you, Shiv, but before to my dear friend Surabhi Hodigere ji of the Bharatiya Janata Party, who speaks of misgovernance, let me give you a couple of statistics. Karnataka under the Congress government is the second largest contributor of the...
No. Let's not go into the governance part of it. No. I've indulged a little bit. So I want to talk about the decision. We have limited time, Syed. Let's not go into the governance part. Decision time.
We have outpaced the national growth of the country by 6.2%.
It's not because of the Congress.
No. Guys. I have to be strict here. I have to be strict. This is prime time, very valuable time. The topic here is about whether the High Command is going to make a decision one way or the other, not about the governance of Karnataka.
Okay.
Syed, stick to the topic.
By the way, agriculture has grown by 4% under Congress.
Syed, I will have to discipline you if you don't stick to the topic.
Coming to it. Surabhi ji, you complain of 2 Congress supporters. Ma'am, you should come to other Godi media channels where 1 Congress supporter faces 3 of your BJP supporters who come in as analysts. So it's easy for you to blame.
This is not personal between you guys. Come on.
Okay.
I am asking you as a DK supporter, are you sensing that DK has a shot at becoming Chief Minister, Syed?
शिव इब्तिदाई सियासत है रोता है क्या आगे आगे देख होता है क्या DK Shiv Kumar is India's rainmaker, and coming to Karnataka politics, this man is one strong man who can make things happen, who can turn around elections. Undoubtedly DK Shiv Kumar ji is the reason why Congress has come into power. Now let me give you another line. Playing a devil's advocate to my friend Tehseen Poonawalla, I'll make a contradicting line. The fact of the matter is Siddaramaiah continues to be the tallest leader of not just BJP but cutting across lines. More than 100 MLAs swear their allegiance to him. After the Bihar debacle of the Congress party, let me tell you, set the cat among the pigeons and tell you that Siddaramaiah will continue to be the chief minister, and you can take it from me, you will never see me appearing on your show.
But that may be the case, but a decision has to be taken because DK Shivakumar is asking for a decision. Tehseen, there is no question about Siddaramaiah's position right now. But is the High Command in a position to take a decision is my question.
I'll make a much bigger point here. You'll appreciate me for this, so will the panel. Be it a Mallikarjun Kharge, be it a Rahul Gandhi, be it a Sonia Gandhi, they do not hold the local power which a Siddaramaiah or a DK
Come on. Syed, you have a sense of humor, but that's ridiculous. Even Tehseen is laughing.
Siddaramaiah is unshakable.
Let Tehseen answer. Tehseen?
He will continue to be the chief minister.
That may be the case, but...
Mark my words.
Tehseen and then Swati.
Can I make a funny comment and I'll leave it at that? My brother Asad Abbas is acting like a typical Congress supporter. Whichever side is winning, he's jumping to that side, started with DK, went to Siddaramaiah. Whichever side wins, Syed is going to represent that side. But look,
I am glad everyone is laughing at this, but the point is, this is a dead serious thing. We've got example after example of how fighting of this kind has ended disastrously for the Congress party. Swati, you wanted to make a point?
Yeah, Shiv, all I want to say is a bigger question. The only question here is that will Siddaramaiah do a Ashok Gehlot, which is assuming that tomorrow the High Command weighs in and says that, it is time that we actually implemented the pact, which was between him and, between him, Rahul Gandhi, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, that, there would be a handover, a switchover. Will he rebel? Will he do an Ashok Gehlot and simply refuse to quit? Because if that happens, what happens to the so-called Congress High Command? I mean, I think that's what they're terrified of. They do not want to have another Ashok Gehlot sort of debacle on their hands right now.
Can I answer that?
But Swati, one small corollary question, and then I'll come to the others. Hasn't the entire Ashok Gehlot rebellion, where he basically told the High Command, I will do what I want, no matter what, I will have my way. Hasn't that just set a damaging precedent, and that's why the High Command looks so weak right now? They're not able to take a decision.
Absolutely, Shiv, and they're totally terrified. They have very deep memories of the psychological hurt that caused, because that was probably the first time that somebody openly defied the High Command, told Mrs. Gandhi that I will not quit as CM, come what may. And we saw what happened later to the Congress. And I don't think after the string of defeats, the Congress High Command or the so-called High Command's writ runs anymore. So, it is up to Siddaramaiah whether he actually steps down or not, because I think, the Gandhis and the Congress president are too scared to actually say that, look, it's time to take a call. They can't do it. They're psychologically terrified.
They're nervous about taking a call, Tehseen.
So, to an extent, Swati is right, but you have to take a call. Can I just say there's a slight difference between Ashok Gehlot ji and Siddaramaiah ji? With respect, and Siddaramaiah ji is the tallest leader in Karnataka. Ashok Gehlot ji was a born congressman. Siddaramaiah ji is not, has come into the Congress. That's one. Second thing, look, these MLAs, Ashok Gehlot ji's so-called revolt happened at the end of his tenure, at the end of the elections. Siddaramaiah ji has 2.5 years to go. The Congress has 2.5 years to go. The MLAs will not want an election. Again, in Rajasthan, there's no choice but to have an election. Anyway, the 5 years over. There's one third thing that I want to say. At the end of the day, Sachin Pilot, Jyotiraditya Scindia, there are young leaders who some have gone, Himanta Biswa Sharma, some have stayed back. But the Congress owes it to these young leaders, young alpha leaders, young fighting leaders, that they stay and they fight. This country needs a good opposition as well. So let's make people sit and resolve this issue. Whatever it takes,
I think, we can all agree on one thing, that something has changed. I was in Karnataka for several weeks during the 2023 election. DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah were fighting during that campaign as well. Syed and I spent a lot of time together on the campaign trail at that time also. But that time they were able to mask the friction because of the high-tempo anti-corruption plank on which they were fighting. Pay CM, 40% Sarkara. The BJP's lackluster campaign meant that nobody was really paying attention to these two feuding stars of the Congress party. They wanted to bundle out the BJP. Surabhi, something has changed. I'm just making an observation about that. I'm not trying to trigger you on that point. I'm just saying something has changed. Now people are able to see clearly that nothing else is happening, like you made the point about governance, except these two people fighting for the CM's chair.
Because everything else has come to a halt. How many ministers, how many MLAs have come out and spoken about this for the last couple of months? Many of them. KN Rajan, Iqbal Hussain, statement after statement we've heard people take camps very openly. And also, let me tell you, there has been a constant blame put on the media as well as the BJP, saying that you guys are delulu, you're imagining things. For the last 2.5 years, apparently the BJP has been imagining that there's a 2.5 term. But yesterday when the MLAs came back from Delhi, and first it was said that the MLAs are going to Delhi to have a conversation on the reorganization of the rejig of the cabinet. That fell flat in a matter of 1 hour. This is an OTT serial running out in Karnataka here today, and my hope is that it ends in season 1. It doesn't go to, or ends in season 2.5. It doesn't go on to season 3, 4, 5. That is the hope. Because what's happening is that every day there's some breaking news relating to this. I'm not making a statement. The media is not making speculation. It is MLAs and ministers within the Congress party who have been using policy issues, events to have one leg up against each other.
I will share something even more hilarious with all of you. When journalists go and take sound bites from these leaders, Swati, after they talk about how many MLAs are on each side, when the cameras are switched off, they ask the journalists, "Yaar, kitne MLAs hai on each side? What are you hearing?"
Can I answer that?
So each camp is a little bit in the dark. They're also a little bit nervous about what's going on. It's actually a very fluid situation.
I'm telling you right now, the Congress needs the crisis manager of DK's capabilities. He's our biggest crisis manager, and he's the biggest crisis they're facing right now.
Can I answer that, Shiv?
To bail him out, to bail himself out.
Shiv, needed DK to bail a DK out.
Shiv, the larger point here is, I will quote.
Let Swati finish your point one at a time so we can hear everyone. I'll give everyone time, don't worry. Swati, finish your point.
Yeah, all I was saying is, Shiv, that, DKS used to be the Congress's biggest crisis manager, whether it was, a resort hopping or Operation Kamlar. Today, unfortunately, the High Command is saying, where is DKS to bail us out? Because he's sort of dug in his heels and he said, this is it. I mean, I will not budge anymore. I will not be the crisis manager. I am going to be the crisis now for you.
Correct. Tehseen, ultimately it will come down to the numbers of MLAs who are, supporting each side. That is one arithmetic criteria on which the High Command can say that we can't take a decision. The MLAs support one person or the other. Right now, it seems like the advantage is clearly with Mr. Siddaramaiah. But what happens with DK in that case? Will he be just a loyal soldier and fall in line once again, or will something else happen?
You can't get more loyal people than DKS. You can't get more loyal people in a political party. But let me tell you one thing, and I'm saying this on NDTV. Not a single MLA will revolt or leave the party. You have 2.5 years of an election to go. If this was 4.5 years, yes, you could understand that. And Shiv, you and Swati cover politics very well in the South. And, you understand how the politics is. They are not going to do that. No MLA is going to say, oh, because the leader I follow is not being made chief minister, let us have a re-election in the party. No one's going to do that. They've all been elected on the hand symbol. They will all stay there. Like most of them, it's not a state where there is a choice, where it's 4.5 years like Rajasthan, and it's guaranteed that the BJP is coming back to government. This is a state where the Congress legitimately believes they could come back to government in 2028.
I have one final question, and I have enough time to get an answer from all four of you. Syed, I'll start with you. By December 1st, a decision has to be taken. That much we are clear about. The leaders in the Congress have said that by December 1st, before Parliament starts, a decision has to be taken, which presumably means the confusion has to be cleared up. What do you think that decision is going to be? Is it going to be an either-or decision, or it's going to be a postponement or a deferment as it has been so far?
Shiv, I'll answer categorically in the words of our Honorable Deputy Chief Minister Shri DK Shivakumar ji, who said, "This is my Veda Vakya, which means sacrosanct." He stated that Siddaramaiah ji will continue to be the Chief Minister, complete his full term, and also the 2028 elections will give him the lead. Along with that, let me tell you, Swati ji made a very important point with respect to Ashok Gehlot. The Congress High Command would not want an Ashok Gehlot-like situation here in Karnataka, because after the Bihar debacle, what happened? They wouldn't want to lose a large state like Karnataka. Also, as a matter of fact, let me tell you that DK Shivakumar ji has stated that all 140 MLAs of the Congress party are ours, all the Karyakartas are ours, and we will continue to work under the guidance of Shri Siddaramaiah. Let me make a prophecy here. Come January 2026, Siddaramaiah ji will do his full term as a Chief Minister, and he will break the long-standing record of former Chief Minister Devraj Aris. These are my words, Shiv, and you can take it. And the critics sound...
Surabhi, final word. What do you think is going to happen by December 1st?
I mean, what Syed said, we need the semantics in place. Siddaramaiah ji is going to complete the, whatever they're aiming for, which is to have the longest chief ministership, and then we will see. Which to me only sounds like somebody from the Congress saying this is going to go on for some time, because the High Command is anyway not capable of taking quick, swift, and strong decisions. We have not seen them take that decision anywhere in the country in the last 10 years. And another disappointing part, Mallikarjun Kharge, tallest Dalit leader, the president of the Congress, saying that the High Command will decide. So it's like, I mean,
no, it's embarrassing. I agree completely.
Congress.
60 seconds left. 30-30 to Tehseen and Swati.
For the sake of Karnataka, please have clarity fast.
Tehseen, final word. What's going to be decided on December 1st?
Siddaramaiah ji will complete his tenure as the longest serving Karnataka Chief Minister. That record will be broken. And then whoever the High Command decides, which includes Kharge ji, by the way, will then continue as Chief Minister, and the Congress will come back to power in 2020.
Swati, final word. Started with you, I'll end with you.
Harmony. Shiv, if love, peace and harmony prevailed like this in politics, we'd be in a Ramraj. I think this incessant lobbying is going to continue, and I don't think that DKS is going to be so easy to placate this time around. And I mean, let's see, I think we're going to have belated fireworks, and the Congress clearly is looking for a DKS to diffuse the DKS crisis.
I'm not, at the risk of being very facetious, I'll take the final word to all three of you and just say, I hope this political drama continues for a few weeks longer, so that maybe I can be sent to Bengaluru and enjoy the weather there rather than suffer in the horrible
Will you take us along?
Get away from the air
emergency. Spend some time with my good friends Syed and Surabhi over there. Maybe the next show that we do will be from outside the Vidhan Sabha. Thank you to the three of you. Thank you to all of you for being with me.
Enjoy Bengaluru.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.